Hi guys, I have not been on Facebook Live in ages, and it's Sunday afternoon around 5:20 my time, so I'm curious if this is a decent time, if people are back from visits or not, but I haven't had time to hop on here and talk to you guys. I've been wanting to make this video for ages because it was actually one that was requested. So I don't see anyone hopping on yet. Hopefully you guys can hear me because my car is on, because it's 90 degrees at the end of September in New Jersey today. This is insanely exciting. Hi to whoever just hopped on. Can you tell me if you can hear me? Because I'm in my car and I want to make sure that you can hear me. Hi, sweetheart. You can hear me. Perfect. Oh, I don't see that you guys are on there, but thanks, guys. Okay, so let me start really quick by introducing myself, because we get new members every day and I have not done a video in a little while. So I'll introduce myself and then I will get into the topic of the video. My name is Ro. I am the founder of Strong Prison Wives and Families. I use my years of experience while my husband has been gone. He's been down for 18 years. He's serving this crazy longer than life 213-year sentence that once we get to know each other, I will tell you all about at another time. But just for now, I just want to let you know that I have plenty of years under my belt doing this as a federal prison wife. So I use what I've learned in the years I've been doing it, in the years that I was doing it all by myself, to help encourage, empower, support you guys, educate you guys, and make you feel supported during the sentence and well beyond when he gets home, so you do not have to worry about becoming a statistic and him recidivizing, coming out and then going back in. Because according to statistics, 70% of, is it 70 or 80% at this point? But it's a lot. It's a very high number of people that get out, go back in within the first 3 years. So if you stick with me, I promise we will lower that statistic. And if you stick with me, I promise that we will make sure that that number drops and you are not one of those. So in today's video, I am going to answer 6 questions that I got from somebody who said that she wanted me to answer these on a live video. And I encourage you guys, for fun, to go and in the comments answer them as well, either during the live video or afterwards. It's a way to get to know one another. And I also want to share this with the Invisible Shackles group. For you guys that are not in our Invisible Shackles group, I made a video about it a couple weeks ago, but I'll just really quickly talk about that before I get into this. We have been asked for years for a private group for Strong Prison Wives, and this page that I'm posting this on right now, the main Facebook.com / Strong Prison Wives page, is public, and it's so old that we don't have the ability to go back. It's a like page. We don't have the ability to go back and make it private. So what we did was, I finally listened to you guys. We made a private group. It's called Invisible Shackles, and then a dash Strong Prison Wives and Families. If somebody right now is not driving, Megan, don't do this, but anybody else who's there, if you have it, if you could post the link there here in the comments, that would be super helpful to our girls who are not already members of that page. And I encourage you guys to go there because it's also a lot of support and it's private. And so, and to be honest, if we get enough members in there, Facebook will give our nonprofit free promotion. So we would really appreciate that as well. Okay. Moving on. So here are the questions. I am not going to say the name of the person who did this because she didn't tell me if I could or I couldn't, and I'm sure she probably wouldn't mind, but I don't want to do that without her permission. So the member who sent me these questions, you know who you are, and I'm answering them, and make sure you guys answer them in the video as well, so you can get to know me a little better, but it also might show a little bit more about the prison wife and how we answer these generic questions differently from other people who aren't in our shoes, how they might answer different questions. Hi, Casey from California. I am so happy you found us early on in your journey. I'm so excited to get to know you and support you throughout. We have a couple of new members, new prison wives who are on the video as well, and we have plenty on the Facebook page and on the website as well. I am so sorry that it's getting blurry. I'm literally in the parking lot of the grocery store. And last time I filmed here, because clearly it's a common thing for me to do, check in with you guys while I'm in the middle of 500 errands, because that is the way my life exists. And I don't even have children, so I can only imagine what it's like for you guys who are mothers, being 100,000 times worse, but I'm always doing 100 things at the same time. So whenever I get a chance to stop and to make a video and check in with you guys, I will do it like in the backyard. I'll do it in the car majority of the time. I will do it in between a workout, before the shower. It's crazy. Thank you, whoever's logged in from the SPWF account, for doing that. Okay, so let's get into the questions because I've babbled plenty. The first question is, and I have not rehearsed these. You could see, I only wrote down the questions. I did not write down any answers, so I'm going off the top of my head. Thank you for all of the thumbs up. You guys keep them coming. You also don't keep in touch with besties. Oh my God, Corey, don't break my heart. I've been so sick since the last time I texted you. My sister asked me to babysit my nephew last weekend overnight. She failed to tell me that he had walking pneumonia until the next day when I was like, hey, Nikki was asking for a nebulizer treatment. Like, he was like, Ro, I need a nebby. And I was like, why are you on a nebulizer right now? He goes, I have walking pneumonia. But Nikki likes to make up stories. So I didn't really pay that much attention until he started coughing his brains out. And I asked my sister the next day. She's like, yeah, he's getting over it. He's fine. Now I've been sick. I don't think I have that, but I have like this terrible cold. Hey, Lauren Levy. Okay. So anyway, I'm not ignoring anybody. I have a broken phone and a very bad cold. Those are my 2 excuses for today. So moving on to the questions. Before making a telephone call, have you ever... I can't read my own handwriting. Have you ever rehearsed what you were going to say, when, and why? Oh my gosh, I do this all the time. And I will tell you, I mean, I could tell you examples of when, but like I literally do it all the time. Why? Because contrary to how I might come across on live video or videos or anything, I'm a very, very, very shy person. I'm a very shy, introverted person. Do you guys believe me? Give me some sort of emoji if you believe me or if you don't believe me. Or comment and let me know if you believe me. I really am. So it takes me a couple of tries, especially here are my examples of when. If I have a call for something legal for Adam, a lot of times I rehearse that. If I have a call for something like a potential funder for Strong Prison Wives and Families, or a potential, sometimes like an interview, not really, but that sometimes if for my day job, if I have calls with clients and I know they're going to be upset, I rehearse those. And maybe not necessarily like write a script and rehearse, but, calls with certain individuals that maybe make me nervous, I absolutely will at least collect my thoughts. I might not literally have a script and rehearse what I'm going to say, although for speeches and presentations and workshops that I give, I absolutely do rehearse a lot, but a lot. Last time I gave a presentation in May of 2016, I rehearsed live on video for you guys, with you guys, so I could get feedback from you guys, so I could remember my speech every single day for I think 3 weeks before that presentation. So I believe in the power of rehearsing, and I believe in collecting your thoughts before you present them. On every call, no, and some people are way better at winging it, but I like to rehearse a lot of stuff. Amy, oh my gosh, I haven't seen you or spoken to you in ages. Hey, sweetheart. Okay, number 2, what's the greatest accomplishment of your life? Oh, wow. The greatest accomplishment of my life. Now, let me just preface this by saying I do not have children. I've never been married before. Adam and I actually aren't legally married, if you guys don't know my story. So I'm sure if I had kids, I would say it was childbirth, but I don't. So my greatest accomplishment is that I was awarded the title of Miss Fitness New Jersey, probably like 10 or 11 years ago. And the reason why it was my greatest accomplishment is because, first of all, it's a really hard thing to get, but also I had to prepare for that for, I think, 9 months prior to that competition. And so, I mean, it was like consuming of my entire life. It was literally like I had 24/7, a full-time job, and then another full-time job getting ready for this fitness show. So I had to diet specifically. I had specific workouts I had to do. I had to do stage presence coaching. I had to meet with coaches all the time. And it was the most rewarding thing because I set my mind to something. I said I was going to do it, and I did not cheat once. I did not miss one workout. I didn't get a crown. I got a trophy that was like up to probably my knees. But I set my mind to something, I set a goal, and I attained it. And that proved to me that, I mean, I'm talking, I couldn't drink water for 3 days before the show. It was kind of like they trained me like an old school bodybuilder. So I had to like drop my carbs to next to nothing for a month before this. And I'm only saying that, I'm not saying that that's healthy, and I would probably never do it again. But I'm saying that I set my mind to something. I stopped at nothing to attain that goal. And I know moving forward that I will be able to attain anything that I set my mind to, because it was dedication, determination, and 100% focus for at least 9 months. I can't remember if it was 9 months or a year that I trained for that, but a really long time. So, that was probably the greatest accomplishment of my whole entire life. And it set me up for a lifetime full of accomplishments after that, because I always refer back to that. If I could do that, I could do anything. And I had a lot of people, naysayers, and I had a lot of people doubt me. And I had actually a few people come up to me and be like, if you could do it, I could do it. And I'm like, oh yeah, sweetheart, you prove that. You go ahead and prove that. Because it was the toughest thing I've ever done in my whole entire life. So if I could do it, go ahead, let's see if you could do it. And not one of them, not one of the two of them, it was only 2 people that said that to me. One of them was like, forget, I'm not even going to go down that road. Neither of them did it. They couldn't last past a week or 2. Okay, so number 3, if you could hold on to one memory for the rest of your life, if you could hold on to one memory from your life forever, what would that be? Oh, good question. Okay. Again, I don't have kids, so it's not like the birth of my children, because I don't have any. I'm sure if I did, it would be something like that. But the one thing that's popping to the front of my mind right now, it's so sweet, is, and maybe crazy because it's a prison wife memory, but is when my very first visit, when I went to go see Adam at Allenwood. If it's a prison wife like memory, you guys, especially probably my MWIs more than, well, I'm not an MWI, so, but like more than this experience. So you guys, give me hearts and likes and emojis if, you can understand, like, one of your best memories is something that happened in prison or in a prison visiting room because you were with him. It is a very hard question, and it's probably more difficult for people with kids. So anyway, because honestly, it was literally like we had never been separated. It was like we were relearning each other all over again. It was like the best date of my whole entire life. It was like everything around me. I was in a freaking U.S. penitentiary, a high maximum security federal prison visiting room, but it was like everything faded around me, and it was just me and him, and it was like the best day of my life. And I remember just like falling so madly in love with him all over again that day. I honestly, for probably the first like 9 months of me getting back in touch with him and going to visit him, like I had no clue really where I was. I had no clue. Like it was just crazy. Thank God I was protected from a lot of realities that went on in there, and I was so naive, and I didn't develop strong prison lives yet, so I didn't have like a lot of friends that I spoke to about this stuff. So I was just kind of like like going in there doing my thing. But honestly, it was like the best date that I ever had. I like madly fell in love with him all over again. And honestly, now knowing what I know and what he shielded me from, and how he kind of like masked things, but not in a way where he lied to me, in a way where he would tell me just enough but not tell me too much, like, makes me that I would be scared, makes me love him so much more even to this day, because hi Heather, because of what he did for me, and because of it just shows the person that he is. So I'm really long-winded on these questions, but I guess this helps you guys understand, especially you new ladies, like from a prison wife perspective, how these questions are answered differently than just somebody who's not. Number 4, when in life have you felt the most alone? Now, prison wife's going to answer these very differently. So, I mean, I've felt alone a lot because my husband's incarcerated. I mean, I felt really, really, really alone at one of my cousins, who's a lot younger than me, at her wedding, at the first dance, and then all of the couples, when like the bride and the groom dance together, and then after a little while, they'll invite all the other couples to get on the dance floor and to dance. And a lot of family weddings I don't get invited to with a guest because it's kind. Like, they know that I'm going to have to go just find somebody to platonically take to a wedding. They'll just not invite me with a guest. So I was just kind of standing there, like, looking around, and everybody went on the dance floor, and I felt kind of alone there. But sometimes, you guys, honestly, more alone than that, because thankfully, like, you could go to the bar. I had a sister to talk to. I think one of my sisters was single at the time. This was, like, quite a few years ago. So we just kind of hung out, even though, like, I was kind of wiping away tears and blinking away tears, I should say. I didn't quite cry, but that was bad. But sometimes, like this happened to me yesterday. This actually happened to me today, this afternoon. It wasn't yesterday. It was my niece's soccer game, and it was at a field that I had never been to before. So different members of my family went, and I was like, yeah, I'll meet you guys there. So I drove to the field that they told me it was at, and all by myself. And I parked my car, and I was like, wait, am I allowed to park in this lot? Because it was like a daycare that's obviously closed on Sunday afternoon, but it said no parking. So, like, in my head, I'm like, great, am I allowed to park here? What happens if my car gets towed? Like, if I had somebody like Adam with me, he'd be able to help me, like, talk through it with me. We could figure it out together. Then I got to the field, and it's a high school football game. It's not my niece's soccer game. So I'm like, they told me the wrong field. To be honest, totally complete confession, I was probably hangry at this point, where, like, I waited too long to eat. I did have snacks in the car. I never leave home without them, but they were in the car. So I was walking around. I'm like, maybe there's another field. Maybe I don't see them. And then I just, like, lost it. And I'm like, forget this. I'm getting in the car. I'm in a cranky ass mood now. They told me the wrong field. I can't find them. I just felt really, really alone. Like, if I had somebody with me, if I had Adam with me specifically, he would have talked me down off of the ledge. He would have been like, take a couple of breaths. We will get through this. We'll find them. Oh, I forgot to mention this part. I was calling everybody in my family's cell phone. So I didn't just, like, go there and have a total meltdown. That would have been weird. But I was calling everybody's cell phone who's at this game that could help me find them, and nobody's answering. Like, I'm talking relentlessly, like, ring, get voicemail, hang up, call again. Ring, get voicemail, hang up, call again. Like, relentlessly, like a freaking stalker. So that's where I was, like, having this meltdown's coming from. All by myself. Worried my car's gonna get towed. Don't know where I'm going. Annoyed. So I felt really, like, driving home, I was just annoyed. Before I ate my grapes that I had in the car as a snack, like, I just felt really, really, really alone about that. Like, I just felt like I don't know. It was just one of those things. Is that the most alone I ever felt? No, but it's one that's just, like, popping in my head, that sometimes it's those weekends, like a Saturday, where everybody else has something to do, and I just want to be hanging out with somebody, but I don't have anybody to hang out with. Like, sometimes those are the times where me personally, I feel more alone than a big event where, let's say, like a wedding, where you could feel really alone. Yes, I feel alone, but then it's not as bad because there are maybe people there. I don't know. But I hope, can you guys relate to what I'm saying? Am I making sense? Give me some emojis. Give me some thumbs up. Give me some hearts. Let me know that we're on the same page. I appreciate them. Or maybe you just think that I'm babbling. Okay. Number 5. What's the best piece of advice anyone has ever given you? When have you used that advice? Wow, I've gotten, like, so many golden nuggets throughout the years. What is the best one? That's really hard to answer, but the best one probably that is coming to the top of my head right now is from Adam, and he told me, you do not need to suffer, and you do not need self-inflicted suffering any longer. That sounds crazy, right? So let me explain. Sometimes Adam can say this because he and I are the same way. And he was saying this to himself as well as me. Where we can feel like we could put the weight of the world on our own shoulders so we can help other people. And people we love, we feel like we'll help them not suffer or struggle, and we'll take that upon ourselves. We'll absorb that for them, right? Or sometimes you feel like they are such hard questions, right, Lauren? I know, especially having to, like, think of them off the top of my head. If I had time to come up with it, I'd probably come up with maybe, I don't want to say better things because I think it's the best when it's the first one that comes to your mind, but I would be able to give more thought to these answers regardless. So I totally agree that I think all of the admin should answer them, but I think that you should not take time to think about them. I think you should answer them off the cuff. What's the phrase? Anyway, so let's go back to the question. So we feel like we could absorb things, or also like sometimes you feel like you have to suffer, just keep suffering to get to like an end point where you might not necessarily need to suffer. So for example, I always would do crazy, like restrictive, painful dieting where it wasn't necessary. I could just allow myself to have some treats here and there and then eat healthily, which I do now. This was back in the day. Instead of having to like starve myself of everything, and you're going to fall off the wagon anyway, or I always did, because it was too strict. Or Adam used to do these crazy intense workouts where one time he worked out in the snow for so long that he gave himself frostbite on his heels because he was just being ridiculous, and he was causing himself pain because he felt like he needed to struggle to get to some endpoint that really didn't even exist because he's already in such good shape. So something like that where we're just crazy like that and we force ourselves to kind of struggle. But also things like, I want to go to some event, but my sister wants to go, so I will be like, all right, I'll take the kids so you can go to it. Not that that's necessarily suffering, that's a kind act, but, I'm trying to think of something that's even better than this. Like Adam took a lot of the blame for, 5 people, I can't remember how many co-defendants he has, but like 4 to 6 people, let's say, did. Adam got a 213-year sentence. 2 of them walked free. Adam took all of that. Adam wouldn't turn and talk and cooperate or anything. Not that's like a video for another time, okay? So that's for many different reasons. But Adam was always the guy when we were growing up that took everything for everybody else so they could, like, walk, they could have a better life, they could whatever that situation is. And we're like 2 peas in a pod with that. So the best advice that I could think of right now that I was ever given, like, I've been given such good advice throughout so many years. I mean, I've worked with like the top of the top coaches. I just told you that I am Miss New Jersey. So I got really good advice throughout my life. But really good advice that's coming to the top of my head is I don't have to suffer. I don't have to suffer to make, you can help people and not suffer. You can get to an end means and not suffer. You can get everything you want and not suffer if that's what you put out there. But if you think you have to suffer in order to get things, then you're going to have to suffer because that's what you're putting out there. Again, that's another video for another time as well. But I also was told the other day by an old person, take care of your teeth and keep every single tooth in your mouth that you have because you're going to need them when you're older. So it was somebody that was talking about veneers, and I was like, I've always wanted them. They're like, don't do it. You're never going to, that's really good advice. So you've gotten tons of golden nuggets throughout your life. I can't pick just one. Okay, so finally, last question, because I've been babbling. Have you ever totally changed your mind about something? When was it? What changed it? Ooh. Hey, Jerry Ann, sweetheart. So the most recent thing that I completely changed my mind about, but there's tons of things that I completely changed my mind about, like breaking up with a boyfriend back in the day. I was madly in love with him and thought we were going to get married, and then changed my mind about it because he turned into an asshole. So yes, of course I've changed my mind about things. But the one thing that's the most recent is that I completely changed the way that I think about nutrition. Okay, I'm like this crazy nutrition nerd. You guys know me. That know me already know this. I've been doing nothing but studying the lymph system and your kidneys for 3 weeks. This is how nutrition nerd I am. And let's just caveat that by saying that I do have a degree in sports medicine. So this is my passion. So it's not like I'm just I am some random weirdo. So let's not even try to make an excuse for that. But it's just something that I love to do and learn about. Well, I was always a gym rat, bodybuilding, paleo eating, meat and vegetables and eggs and fish girl for years. That's how I kept a 6-pack. That's how I kept myself very in shape and lean. Well, recently I completely flipped the script. I completely changed my mind. I completely changed my outlook, because I always ate for aesthetics, meaning I ate to eat a certain way. I just said it helped me keep a six-pack and like really ripped arms and veins down them, because that was the look I was going for at the time. But I completely changed because I learned that you can eat for aesthetics, and that's very different than eating for health. So I completely changed the way I eat. I am 100% vegan. I'm like 80% raw food vegan at this point. I'm also helping my mom, trying to help my mom heal herself from cancer. So I completely changed the way I thought about how you should eat, which was very high protein, very low carb, even like not a lot of fruit, to very high carb. Majority of my diet is fruit. All of my diet right now is just fruit and vegetables and nuts and seeds. So complete flip of the script. That was because you asked when I did it. So what changed it was my mom's cancer coming back, and doing a lot of research on, and her actually stumbling upon some research with animal protein feeding her cancer, and then me being the nutrition nerd that I am. See, I prefaced it for a reason. I actually was just babbling, but I'm going to make believe I prefaced it for a reason. Going, okay, well, I get it, but I understand science, so let me research this some more for you. Doing that, and then saying, you know what, it's enough. There's enough proof in that chia pudding. Not dairy pudding, because we don't eat it anymore. But there was enough proof in that pudding that I'm going to change the way that I eat and the way that I look at things. So that was what changed it for me. So that was back in February. I went vegan. Back 3 weeks ago, I took my mom to this holistic healer who has healed everything, like every kind of mental disease, every kind of cancer, down to pancreatic. He healed a 13-year-old with brain cancer. He did not heal her. Let me say this the right way. Her body healed itself, but he gave her the knowledge and the tools to enable her and empower her to help her fuel her body to heal itself. Okay? So, and I'm saying that very specifically because I believe that we all have the power to heal ourselves. You just have to fuel your body the right way and have the right knowledge. So that is a big jump from when I was a bodybuilder. Like I just said, I did not drink water for 3 days before my competitions. 2.5. You can only live 3 days without water. There's a fact if you didn't know it. But for 2.5 days, and I would eat only protein and no carbs, and then like shitload. So I would eat a whole bunch of crap for 3 months after that to try to gain weight back. I would do that, which is so unhealthy. Although I looked like the epitome of, like, I looked head to toe ripped. You could see every muscle and vein in my body. 2, totally flipped the script. Eating vegan and almost 100% raw. I said that I wasn't going to say that I was eating raw because I didn't want the backlash. But, hey, I just said it to 20,000 people on a video. So, if you want to hate, I'm not going to read it. But that is the reasoning. That is when. That is why. And these are the answers to my questions from that sweet prison wife who wanted to get to know me better. And I would love for you guys to share your answers. And I would love all of the admin. I agree with Lauren. I would love all of the admin to answer these. But I challenge you guys, I challenge every single person that's going to answer this to answer it off of the top of your head, because you're going to get more genuine answers. And if you want to do it on a live video, go to Invisible Shackles and do that, because, wait, Corey, can anybody do a live video in Invisible Shackles, or do you have to be an admin? Curious. But then you could talk through it with your friends and get feedback, just like I did. So even though I wasn't really reading your comments. Thank you for the thumbs up. I love you guys. I will be back with more of our regularly scheduled videos. But if you guys want more like this is fun for me. If you guys have questions you want me to answer about anything about prison life, anything about not prison life, anything about me, anything about anything, Megan, I'll put them on the admin group, because I don't know that all of that's going to have to be broken down into text, and I don't know that all of my texts are going to go through to you. For anybody that doesn't know why I'm saying that, I broke my phone a couple months ago. I am waiting for the Pixel 2 to come out I think it's October 7th. So I have like, I don't know, a week and a half, maybe like just a little less than 2 weeks till I get my new phone. But until then, like, I broke it so bad, I'm not getting all my texts. They're not all going out. This is a nightmare, because if you're in the Invisible Shackles group, you'll see what I posted. I missed half a text from Adam, and I thought like something really bad happened. So, yeah. You guys keep staying strong. Oh, wait. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or anything you guys want me to discuss on a video, even if it's something like this is really fun for me, and then it could be fun for all of us. So hours have been working. Yes, but for some reason, all of mine aren't going out either. So, like, Adam will get parts 1 and 3 of one of my messages, but he'll miss part number 2. So I want to make sure. I promise that wasn't being stupid. But, yeah, it's way too long. You can reach me at strongprisonwise@gmail.com, or on social media, or on Kik, K-I-K, row C728, and you can send me your questions. You can send me any requests for videos, and I will be happy to make live videos for you guys with answers. Okay? Keep staying strong, keep loving strong, keep supporting one another through this journey, because you're one day closer to it all being behind you. Lots of love from my heart to yours. I will see you, lovely, beautiful ladies and gentlemen, in the next one. Bye, guys. Oops, finger over. The lens is always a good thing.